Yeah, I mean, they might be my neighbor's bike. Yeah. Okay, well, he's on his way now. Slowly but surely trying to get to that, trying to go west, but the massive load he's carrying seems to be a bit of a problem. Yep, very slowly, yeah. All right, thank you very much. Have a good day. All right. Good morning, everyone. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I just woke up to all this breaking glass. And what had been happening was there was this homeless guy out in the parking lot of my building. He completely dumped the recycling bin out. Like he'd taken it over from there, brought it close to the building, and dumped everything everywhere. And there was the sound of breaking glass and cans everywhere. And the guy had like three or two bicycles with him. And he was standing next to the bike cage of our building. Like there's a bike cage outside. And yeah, he had two bikes with him that you can see piled there, and he's got a shopping cart. So, number one, he woke me up, which is not a big deal because I was going to get up soon anyways. But if you're right next to the bike cage and you've got multiple bikes with you and you're a homeless person, the chances are that those bikes are probably stolen. I don't know if he was stealing them from my neighbors or if he was stealing them from other people. But yeah, that was not good. So I went out and talked to the guy for a minute, and I said, "You better not be stealing those bikes, man, or I'm going to call the police." And he's like, "Oh no, they're my bikes." And I was like, "Okay, well, I really hope they are, you know." And I just went back inside, and I kind of thought about it for a minute, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to call the police anyway. So I called them, and I talked to this lady for probably like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. The police they never came. You know, who knows if a cop car is going to drive by right now when we're talking. I mean, that guy's obviously got some problems. I mean, he probably doesn't need another problem of the police arresting him or whatever, but there's no way those bikes are his, man. Like, if you're a homeless person, you might have one bike if you're lucky, and you're definitely not going to have two. No way. And you're not. And if you have a bike, you're going to be riding it. You're not going to be carrying it around on a shopping cart. So I really hope they catch that guy and take those bikes back and hopefully get them back to their owners. My ex's bike was stolen right from our building, from our parking lot, and the wheel off my bike was stolen right after I moved to BC. I parked at a SkyTrain station. I came back after work and I didn't lock the back tire, so the back tire was missing. That cost me like $100 to replace, and it cost us a lot of money to replace her bike as well. Bike theft is a horrible thing, I'm a commuter. I ride on my bike. I'll show it to you right now if you can see it in the dark. So I don't want people stealing bikes. That's no good. I know that the guy has problems, but you don't want to solve those problems by hurting other people if possible. Hey, here's the bike cage that I told you about. It appears to be intact. But that door definitely looks like it's been pried at maybe this time or a previous time. So I don't lock my bike back here. And I actually had somebody yesterday or the day before ask me why I don't lock my bike in the cage. Well, that's why. So it's very funny actually that you think this area would be like very secure. You've got perhaps 2 or 3 levels of defense. There's like a psychological level. Oh, it's locked in a cage. Okay. Well, they got to get the cage open first, and then you lock your bike to the rack, and then they got to deal with that. But if it's the middle of the night, honestly, I think that's plenty of time. Really, if somebody's properly motivated, they could find a way. So I just don't even bother to trust this system at all. I just keep my bike inside my apartment, and if somebody wants it, they're gonna have to break in there and deal with me, right? So yeah, that's that. Let's go check out the scene here of the broken bottles and all that stuff. So you got some miscellaneous garbage here, just like bags probably. You got some broken bottles here, probably because when you dumped it out, everything kind of went everywhere. And this is not even the bottle recycling bin. It's like he brought both over or something, and he was using this one to throw the other stuff he didn't want into or something. But yeah, anyways, interesting way to start the weekend, let's say that. And this really goes to prove the point that emergency services will not be there when you really need them to. Like if that guy was breaking into my apartment, I called the police, stayed on the line with them for 10 or 15 minutes. He's gone by the time they showed up, you know. He was walking that way over towards Stanley Park. I can still see him there. He's going through somebody else's bins now. I'll try to zoom in so you can see him. But there's his shopping cart with all the bikes on it. And I don't know where he is right now. But there's plenty of time for police to get here and deal with it. And they're doing other things. I really do think that in Vancouver, police, generally speaking, try to turn a blind eye to like the homeless thing. I guess they have to deal with it on certain occasions, or like emergency services does when he like goes to the hospital with a drug overdose or something. But you know, it's a bigger issue than the police, so I can understand why they're not into like rehabilitating people and like, you know, figuring out why people do what they do. All they do is deal with the fallout. But yeah, it's a bigger issue definitely than just the police. So I can understand why they want to turn a blind eye to it, but I don't know. Like I said, it crosses the line when those people, to satisfy their own like addictions or their own personal problems or whatever, when they start to victimize other people in the process.